Alrighty, guys, welcome. We got a special edition. Welcome. I'm your host, Pitch and Pint Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Pernell Davis, followed by my guy, Edgar Martin, and also a very, very, very special guest. We got the mayor, future mayor of Boynton Beach. We're hoping that it goes our way on election day. We got Mr. Courtlandt McQuire.
Thank you.
In the building. So welcome. This is episode number 44. You going with
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. You also said Jerry West.
The logo.
And I'm gonna say Barack Obama. Ain't no 44 better. Ain't no 44 better. So welcome. You wanna give a toast with your water? Toast. Episode 44. Let's get her done. Oh no, boy. That's how I make them, boy. Don't make them like you make yours. So welcome. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, for joining us on this nice. We're close to the election though. Night, but close to the election.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So how you been feeling throughout the whole process?
It's getting pretty intense. The closer to the actual election date, things get more intense. The meetings are more rapid. Mm-hmm. The interviews like this and the competition's more heated. It's kind of like sports in a way. Right. You know, there's going to be one winner and there's going to be three losers.
I understand.
So the exact date is what, March 11th?
Yeah, March 11th, okay. And the election, the polls open up at 7 a.m. and close at 7, and you should know who your next mayor is, me, by 8:30 maybe.
Okay.
That's what's up.
All right.
And if y'all didn't know, this is for the city of Boynton Beach. City of Boynton Beach. He's running for the mayor of the city of Boynton Beach, which happened to be was probably one of the best cities in the world, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Some people might beg to differ. Definitely. You know what I mean? But they don't matter.
I mean, we've been in our whole life, so
exactly.
Who, you know what I mean? Who more qualified to talk about our city
than us?
You know what I mean?
I agree. The city is the third largest in the county, and it's a big budget. And it's a big population. It's approaching 100,000 people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, don't realize that east of military, it's a rough line, but if you call it maybe a quarter mile east of military, mm-hmm. all the way out to the Everglades, even though that's Boynton Beach, that's not part of the city.
Absolutely, understandable. Okay, so now, we got a couple questions that, people are going to want to know. And the first thing I had, one of my great friends, he actually played with us at Boynton High. He's a firefighter now. We was talking about growth of the city. So what's your opinion on the growth of the city, and where do you want to see it if you were to become the mayor?
Well, the city has the potential to be the biggest city in the county, and it's growing right now. If you look at our downtown, there's 7 undeveloped, already approved projects that are massive. That is going to bring in a lot of jobs, a lot of new residents, and some affordable housing, some retail. I wish it was more retail, very little retail comparative to the over 3,000 apartment homes that are coming to downtown. That's a lot, and that construction started now. If you see the railroad tracks there, that you see them turning dirt between MLK and Ocean, that's the Village project, and that's a little over 300 apartments with only around 8,000 square feet of retail. And if you're throwing down over 300 apartments, you should be delivering 30,000 square feet of retail. Yeah. So, I want to try to make sure the developers are delivering us entertainment destination, because we deserve a downtown.
Absolutely.
I agree. We just talked about this on our podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So with those new, like you say, 300 new apartment coming, are they affordable housing or are they just apartments?
Some of the projects do have affordable housing components to them, but it's usually a small percentage, anywhere between 10 and 20%. There's this new law, it's called Live Local, and there's 2 projects that are Live Local or that are coming up as Live Local, and what that means is they can go as high as any building in the city within a mile radius, and they can go as dense as any multifamily project within a mile radius. And they don't go through the commission or the CRA, they go right to staff. And that's a new law that's been passed, and it'll be interesting to see how that comes about. What I don't like about, I mean, I'm learning about it, but what I don't like about it is it really doesn't have any community input, because the CRA is about the community input.
Absolutely.
And the commission is elected officials by the city, so it's going past our elected members and going right to staff, so you don't know what you'll get. But the good thing about it is, right, there is something good about it. They have to deliver 40% of the homes as affordable housing.
I think I'd take that deal any deal.
So if they're going high and dense and 40% affordable,
Right.
that's pretty good.
And I mean, the goal of when you say affordable housing, when you bring affordable housing to the city, you want the people from the city to benefit from those affordable housing. And what I'm seeing now is the MLK project. Very good project. It's beautifying the city. Absolutely beautiful. But a lot of those people that are there aren't from the city. So it's like, how do we get it for when there are affordable housing that the people that's from the city are the first people to get dibs that can still stay in the city and stay in some brand new, I mean, great amenities, new apartments, you know, so that's one of my biggest things. I see it. I see the people moving around, and I like the energy that it brings to the city. It is more going on, but a lot of those people, they're not from the city.
That's true, and I've heard that from other people too. What the mayor should do is deliver that message to the community and be engaged with everybody and say, hey, look it, this is what's coming. This is when it's opening. This is when people can go there and apply. This is how you apply. And we need to communicate that not just in our commission meetings or in an e-blast. We need to go out to the places of worship and get back to sort of some community outreach programs. Send our staff there to hand out flyers, to speak. Also, one of the things I want to do is create either a podcast or a broadcast channel where our community can log in or watch a program and learn about these opportunities before it's too late, and know exactly when the applications can be filed so they can be first in line. And as mayor, I want to do that. I want to be sure that everybody gets those opportunities, and it's just not for people coming in from out of town. I agree completely with that.
I mean, and who better to host it? You know what I mean? We here, I mean.
Yeah. So can you talk about like your current position with the city? Can you elaborate?
Yeah. Right now, I'm serving on the CRA, the Community Redevelopment Association Advisory Board. So it's not the CRA board, it's we advise the CRA. And it's a 5-person board. Dr. Naomi Cobb is the chairwoman. I
love Dr. Cobb. She's nice.
And I work with her very closely. We just actually, as a board, we created a new CRA plan. The CRA is consisting of 7 districts, typically east of Federal, except the industrial district on Industrial Avenue.
Okay.
That's one of them. And then you have Heart of Boynton. You have downtown. You have the Cultural District, the Marina District. You have the North Federal District and then South Federal District. And the objective of the boards is to make sure that business opportunities are available for our people, you know, our community, and people that want to set up shop and start a business here. Also to clean up the mess, dirt, slum, and blight, and to help beautify and engage the area. So we created a plan, and Dr. Cobb and I presented to the CRA about a month or 2 ago. And we actually talked about renaming some districts because some of them kind of don't make sense. And we talked about a splash pad. You know, if you really go downtown, what's going to keep you there? You know, you got Hurricane Alley, you got a couple restaurants there. But if you go there with your daughter or your grandma, you got to have a couple opportunities to kind of jump around. So we think a splash pad for kids to get out there in the summer or whenever. And not the one that they have in West Palm Beach. I saw this one in Japan. like something amazing, like that only we have it. So we want to deliver that as a board, and I want to deliver that as a mayor. So our children can come downtown, they can cool off and have some fun. And the CRA, if you look at the federal corridor and 95, it's just a mess. It's just trash everywhere.
Right.
Like, why are our people, our staff, not getting out there with their trucks and cleaning up mess? Like, they're getting paid big money. So, as the mayor, I'm good at managing people, you know, and getting on the phone and kind of like, hey, you know, did you get this done? Did you get this done? And I'm going to push people to get this city cleaner and also safer. You know, I think we only have 2 CRA police patrols. So the CRA has its own police.
I never knew that.
Yeah, there's 2. I think it might be 4, but 2 or 4 of them. And all of these developments are coming, but we haven't thought to negotiate, have a police satellite office in one of them. You know, wouldn't that be great in downtown to keep the safety for everybody? So they can have a little office. So I want to try to negotiate that with one of the developers that haven't yet broke ground. See if we can get that there. And then, you know, District 2, or Heart of Boynton is, they were promised a grocery store. And
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, so I'm glad you brought
a
it
dollar
up.
store grocery store is not a grocery store.
Absolutely.
So, you know, was that the answer? That's not a good one. So I called a few of these developers, and, you know, saying, you know, what's going on? Can you put a grocery store in?
Right.
You can call it a bodega, right? It doesn't have to be a 40,000 square foot Publix. It could be a 9,000 square foot Trader Joe's or something like that, right? Something that our families downtown can just walk to, can grab something that's nice, you know, but also affordable, you know.
Absolutely.
Better than what we got.
So I've already made some headway with that. Another opportunity to put a grocery is, if you know the parcel, the parking lot next to the Children's Playhouse Museum. You know that across from City Hall?
By the library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little house that's like a kids museum.
Yeah.
Well, the parking lot that all the staff parks in, that's designated hotel. So if we put a hotel there, we could do parking for the city, and we could do a grocery on the ground level. I think that would be fabulous, and you know, the Heart of Boynton would get the grocery store, downtown would get a grocery store, and we get a hotel. You know, so, and retail on top of it. So it's important that
And jobs.
and that would deliver a lot of jobs. Heck yeah.
Jobs. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, especially for, like you say, the Heart of Boynton in District 2, the biggest thing for the people in this district is opportunity. Opportunity that if something like this happens, it comes about, that we have a chance to be some of the first people in the district to say, hey, we're going to go apply for these jobs. A lot of these people qualify. A lot of people want to work close to home. You don't want to have to go. You have so many people that live in Boynton, work in Delray, Lake Worth, you know, Boca, Palm Beach. But when you have something, a job of, like you said, Trader Joe's, hotel, like these people qualify in this district. And they want to be, you know, they want to participate and be a good member of society. But when you don't have the opportunity, you look at our district, what do we have for our people to go work? Besides, I mean, if you work for the city, you know, and that's still, I mean, technically, that's still not our district. Well, yes, it is. It's in our district. But other than that, if you're not working for the city or the school board, you don't really have anywhere in our district for them to work.
Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, if you bring in stuff like that to the district, then, I mean, you'll get a bunch of good people coming to be able to work there and work close to home.
Absolutely, and that's why I was pushing for more retail. When I was on planning and development years ago, Time Equity owns that land that's north and south of City Hall. You know, those fenced-in big pieces of land?
Yeah.
Those are going to be almost 1,000 apartments and not even 20,000 square feet of retail. That was an opportunity to put a grocery store in, and it was a missed opportunity. And you're going to put 1,000 density apartments in our heart of our downtown. You should be delivering more employment opportunities with retail where businesses can set up shop. So that haven't broke ground yet. There's time, I think, to negotiate that. I could be wrong. You know, the developer owns the land and they have their contract, but you know, I think at the end of the day, if you get like a mayor in there that is good with people, listens, and makes sense, maybe we can get some people to come thinking our way, you know?
So how does that work if the land is in the city and you say the developer owns the land? How does that work?
So those two particular pieces of land were literally given away to a previous developer for nearly nothing. And he went and sold them for $40 million. So that was a loss of over $40 million of opportunity for the city. That wasn't done by this commission, to be clear.
Yeah.
It was a previous commission. That is unexcusable. I mean, I can't believe that. And that's public knowledge. But in any case, we can't cry over the spilt milk. We got to still be positive and move the ball to the red zone and score.
Yeah.
And I think another thing the CRA does is, the restaurants that pop up, they get up to $50,000 a year. If you want to open a restaurant,
Right.
the CRA can give you $50,000 for year one.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably open a restaurant for $100,000, depending on how, if you didn't have fryers and you kept it simple. And then you can apply through the CRA grant program to get your rent paid for half of it for 1 year. Now, I said up to 50, right? They could give you 2,500. They can give, you could, if you're doing a salon, maybe you'll get 5,000 or 10,000, right? You have to apply, and whatever funds are available in the CRA, and that's what you gentlemen need to communicate, and hopefully this gets out there, because you apply through the CRA on the CRA's website. You say, I want to open a business. This is the address. I have a letter of intent from the landlord. He says I can rent it at this price. And you give them a little formula how you expect to make money. And I always say, they say money doesn't grow on trees. Well, it does. You just got to know where to look, and that is free money. So I'd like to communicate that to your audience to apply through the CRA for these grants.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like you said, a lot of people just don't have that information. So it's good that you come on the podcast and talk about that.
If I could just divert one more thing here.
Wow.
I have 3 kids in private school.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford it. I'm telling you right now. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's $13,000 a kid a year or something like that. But I have Step Up. Okay, so for all those parents out there, you can apply for Step Up. And that was a program put in years ago. And it's not income based. It used to be. You used to have to make this much little money. And then now, whoever you are,
Don't matter.
yeah, you just qualify. And then let's say you have 2 kids. If one kid gets it, the other one gets it. And it has to be for private schools. So if some people want to send their kid to a private school, and guess how much you get per kid? How much, do you want to guess? It's not like $1 million or anything, but
Yes.
$10,000.
it's close, but it's not. It's under $10,000. It's in the 8s.
8.
So if you have 3 kids,
It's $24,000.
it's $24,000.
Wow.
Right? And that's called Step Up. So I hope everybody listening checks it out that wants to consider sending their kid to a private school. It's an opportunity. And for my kids, it covers the vast majority of their tuition.
Right. Absolutely.
So speaking about the kids, I want to ask you about family. Like, what does family mean to you?
Everything. I've married a Latina from Venezuela, an immigrant, and we've been married 17 years. And Latin culture is tight, the family, right?
Definitely.
And us Americans are not as tight, maybe. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Culturally, I don't know. But I've grown to really appreciate, her family and my family, and I'm getting older, and I love being with my family. It's the most important thing. I have 3 little girls, 6, 8, and 12. My wife's aunt lives with us much of the year, and she's from Venezuela, and I love it.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
So you're a girl dad.
Yeah.
You're a girl's son.
I am surrounded by women, which in a way is a nightmare. but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can kind of second that. I'm a girl dad too and surrounded by women. At some point, they just tell you what to do.
That's exactly what. Right. I also, my mom is 90. She's legally blind. She smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And our doctor actually said, no, just leave her alone. She's doing great. She's very healthy. And I moved her to High Point West. And what a bargain that place is. My gosh. It's a great deal, and what beautiful apartments. You know, I moved her from Fort Lauderdale. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale and Plantation.
Okay.
And I went to Chaminade. You guys know Chaminade?
Yeah.
My wife is from Fort Lauderdale, but she's from the Manors. No, I'm just playing. She's from Parkway, but I always joke and say she's from Wilton Manors. But she went to school at Plantation, so.
What school did she go to?
Plantation.
Plantation High
Well,
or
she
South
went to
Plantation?
Fort Lauderdale High first, and then went to regular Plantation.
And my sisters went to South Plantation. Yeah, I grew up in Plantation. Moved there when I was 3, and went to Plantation Park Elementary. Went to American Heritage, and I went to Chaminade. I was big into sports as a kid, so I
Yeah, that's too.
yeah. You guys are football players, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. So I actually had an athletic scholarship to go to Heritage, and Chaminade. I guess maybe just Heritage. But anyway, I played tennis, cross country, and track. And in track, I did the 110 high, 330 long, high jump, long jump, and 2 mile.
Wow.
So I was, and if I didn't have, honestly, sports is the best thing I think for young boys, or a lot of them, because you learn as much in sports as you do in the books. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
It ain't just about the game. You learn a lot of life lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of head games, coaches playing mind games with you and pushing you. So I definitely agree with that.
I remember when I was, falling behind in a class or whatever. Well, they would tell you, well, you can't play, and then you'd go home and study,
Right.
because you wanted to play.
There you go.
So it kept me in check, but I really do enjoy sports, and that's something I want to get back into.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of corny, but I'm thinking about this pickleball. I don't know if you ever played.
Man, pickleball is going crazy.
Very, very popular. I hear about it all the time. I never played it. You?
I play pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good little hobby to pick up, and then more people playing it. It's fun,
Yeah.
and I think, it's an ageless sport. Like you can be any age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when that's like a golf. Like
It's
you
like
can
golf,
enjoy it,
I
no
say,
matter
yeah.
what age you are. You can enjoy it. So
Yeah.
And I'm getting of that age.
So you've been playing that lately?
No, I haven't. I've just been thinking about it.
Okay.
Well, with the city, I go to these commission meetings, and a lot of these residents come here, and I listen to them. I've been going for 8 years, all the meetings just about. And do you know they don't have a senior discount program in Boynton?
No.
No. So if you go to the Parks and Rec, you pay full price. So that's something I want to take care of because, having a senior age mom, I'm sure you have the same, they deserve a break, And you know what they want is more pickleball. That's what they're asking for in the commission meetings. And why not? I don't think it's pricey to build a pickleball court. It's not more than a tennis court because 4 of them could fit on one tennis court.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you ride down on Lake Worth Road at John Prince Park, they've converted a couple tennis courts into pickleball courts.
Yeah.
And it's jumping. The lights are on at night. The courts stay full. So, I mean, that's a model. Like, because when it's a copycat world. You can go there, you can see the model. Like, oh, we can do this.
Yeah.
Because it ain't hard. Like, I mean, it's a small court. I mean, like I say, it's an ageless sport. So you can't have a huge court because, people can't move around that good. But, yeah, I mean.
Pickleball, you only have to move a few feet.
Exactly.
And if it's doubles, that's even better.
Exactly. So it's definitely something to think about. And I think we all should get out and play pickleball because at least if you're not running hard, you're moving.
Yeah.
You're getting some movement and you're moving around. So I think definitely a good idea, and definitely in the city because I know they go over to the Hester Center and they play pickleball. They was doing this years ago before it got
Popular.
yeah, so before it got so mainstream, they was going and playing pickleball at the Hester Center. Because I used to be mad sometimes, like, oh, you got to get out of pickleball. But I was like, oh. And I didn't understand it, but now I'm like, I feel they want to get some exercise in, move around a little bit. So that's definitely pretty cool.
When speaking of parks and rec, I grew up. I always worked. You know, I'm in my 50s. So when I was a kid in South Florida, you could work legally at 13. I believe it's 14 now. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. And I worked for the city of Plantation. And I worked at tennis courts, and I would take care of the courts, take the garbage out, do the bathrooms, and turn the lights on, turn them off. And then in the summers, I would be a camp counselor. We need a youth program in our city, and I want to bring that because all these kids, every kid I know, I don't know any of them working in high school. I mean, it's like, and why is that? And you go to a couple places. I know this is a tangent, but you ever go to Texas Roadhouse?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. They have like high school kids as the waiters.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what I mean? Seeing a young person getting out there working, making money. So I want to bring that to the city. I want to create a youth employment program through Parks and Recreation. I did speak to the manager about it, and he thought it was a good idea.
I agree. It's nothing like making your own money, especially at that age.
At a young age, yeah.
Now I have a question for you. So what is your top priority if you are elected? The number one thing you want to get done and hang your hat on once you're not in office anymore.
Well, the number one thing we did touch on it is I want to look at all the developer contracts and make sure we are in the best position possible, have a thorough understanding of them, and see if any of them are in breach of contract, so then we can renegotiate on our end. Things better for our downtown. But the mall property, the Boynton Mall, is one, and public safety is another. So let's start with public safety. That's always number one. Right. And the problem we have in Boynton is we have the third largest city, right? We have the highest paid police and fire, highest pensioned. We don't have enough police. Delray has more than we do. And they're a smaller city, and by geography and population, but they have more PD. So I would like to increase that, but also our police, we have the third worst crime, right? We're tied with West Palm Beach. It goes Belglade, Riviera, West Palm, and Boynton. So there's something's a little amiss there, right? Highest paid, third worst, right? Yeah. So I'd like to look at helping that ratio to be better. I want our police to perform the best. I want them to have the best equipment, technology, more staff if that's what they need to protect our public.
I can respect that. You definitely don't want to be. I mean, that's an eye opener to say that we, the third largest, but we have less than a city that's smaller than us, less police.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's because of the downtown area that we have to have more police. Because I mean, like you said, right now we're hoping to have a downtown in the near future, but to be thriving and moving like they are, because like he went to downtown, didn't even invite me this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, to be thriving and moving around like they are, I think we would increase the police presence. Absolutely. But I think if we don't have that, I don't think I ain't gonna say no reason, but it's almost like a miss. You know what I mean? So to not have all of the police, but then you're not having the revenue coming in either. Because that you figure that one street in Delray makes how much money?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one.
And when these apartments, we have over 3,000 apartments coming on board. They're already approved, and we're going to have more police, and fire.
There's more people. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I was I was pushing on the CRA to get some satellite stations out of these developers, but it was falling on deaf ears, and I don't know. That's why I want to look at those contracts, see if there's room to kind of like help that process out. Jump into the mall property. That's for sale for $140 million.
Wow.
It's 113 acres. 68 of them are buildable. They're going to want to turn that 68 into 88, right? But that's where you can negotiate with them. Hey, we want a theater so we can see concerts, and it's got to be covered and have 1,000 seats. We need a hotel, not just one, but like, how can you have tourism and an economic engine with jobs if people don't come here? You know what I'm saying? For tourism. I heard people, this is not my words, but listen, I love Boynton, but it's kind of a pass-through city. You're going to West Palm or you're going to Delray, right? You're not really camping out and going to our downtown. So we need a downtown.
I agree, man.
And we need a mall property that's got it all. We have home ownership opportunity, affordable housing, another mall, offices, right? If you want to set up a business, there's not a lot of places to do that. That's another great shop. And in our downtown, we could use some offices too.
And like I was telling him, man, I'm jealous of Derry, man. I go downtown, have a good time, and it's like,
where do you go?
Why we can't have nothing like that?
Where
do I go in Derry?
Yeah.
There's a couple spots. Go to Tin Roof. What was that spot on the corner where I seen you at?
Oh,
the office, something
the
like
office.
that.
Yeah.
It's a couple
They
places.
got Salt. I mean,
Salt, it's like-
Have you been there lately?
What
It is so crowded.
Yeah.
Salt?
It's more crowded, I think, than in the history.
Throw Social over there. You
Yeah,
got,
Throw
you got
Social,
some good, got some good stuff. Well, we frequent El Camino and Rocco's Tacos.
Oh, yeah.
So me and my wife, that's what we frequent.
I love Rocco's Tacos. We go there for lunch as no one's there,
Yeah.
and it's cold. The air conditioning's really good. And I like El Camino too. I don't go downtown a lot. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like to stay in Boynton. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to get brownie points, but like I like to spend my money in Boynton. I go to Hurricane a lot. The food's good there.
Okay.
I go to Kingdom Buffet. You guys-
I've never been to
What's
Kingdom.
wrong with
On
you?
Congress?
It's amazing. It's the best buffet in the world.
Yeah.
And every time I tell people, oh, the place is terrible, I'm like, when were you there? Like 17 years ago? No, it's different.
I only went once, and it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it is really good. I enjoy going there, and then I like Josie's for lunch. You ever go there?
Yeah, I've been to Joe's.
And the new what is it, Kabuki? That's the new one that opened up. That's like a sushi bar. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm not a sushi guy. I've always said I don't like sushi, but honestly, I've never tried it. But it just the thought of it is making me feel like I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, some things you just know you ain't gonna like.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
Even if you don't taste it, you know you ain't gonna like it.
exactly, it's like I never seen the 49ers play when I was a kid, but I just knew I wouldn't like them. You know what I'm saying? I just knew I wouldn't like them, and then when I see them play, then you know what it is. So, all right. So we talked about all this business and stuff. So what do you do for fun? So what's a fun thing for you to do that you just?
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on a car, and I'm not like that mechanically inclined, but I'm a little bit, and so I bought during COVID, during all that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't working as much. My clients, everything was shut. All my businesses were, pretty much shut down, and I found this Lotus Elan without an engine in a field in Bradenton, and I bought it for like, I don't know, a couple $1,000s. It's 1970.
Okay.
So I had a guy go get it, and I put it on the side of my house, and I've been working on, didn't come with an engine, but if you go to Alibaba, you been to Alibaba?
Yeah.
It's like the Chinese
Definitely.
Amazon, and
Yeah,
prices
they got
are,
it.
well, they have like an EV conversion for a rickshaw, which is like a go-kart, not a go-kart, a golf cart, for tourism, like taxis. And they're big. They have like 5 rows in them. And you can buy like that conversion for like $2,000. My dream is to pop it in there and put the thing back together and make it work. Now, will that happen? I don't know, but I like to go on the side of my house and play around and do that. I like to take care of my pool. I like to take care of I do my own garden. So those are things that, but most of all, I like spending time with my kids and my wife. We'd like to go out to eat. You know, we don't do it a whole lot, but I could talk about restaurants in Boynton forever.
Yeah.
But we like to try the new restaurants, and the kids like to go out and spend time. That's pretty much what we like to do. I'm not a big, all my family loves to travel and this and that, and I'm not like a super into travel. You know, I don't know why. Like every time I travel, it's like, you know, I like being home. You know, so I start thinking of my bed.
Yeah.
I had that thought too. I'm like, yeah, this place is nice, but I couldn't live here. Like, you know, you would go somewhere and it's a nice vibe, but I can't stay here.
It's funny though, cause like, you know, the older I get, and you know, once you travel, you start comparing, you know, where you travel to home, and then now that we older, you start realizing like, damn, it ain't bad where we live. You know what I mean? Like, well, this is where people want to come. But you know, being here your whole life, it's just home is like whatever. Like it's something you already used to.
Like it's the stuff we take, like going to the beach. I hear people, oh man, I want to go to the beach, and it's like, bro, we never go to the beach.
Exactly.
Yeah, me either.
Take it for granted. We take it for granted.
Well, maybe we gotta do something, man. We gotta do something on the beach, man.
Yeah, well, we have the inlet, right? That's Boynton Beach.
Yeah.
You know, the Boynton Beach, our city went to, you know, all that, you know, is not Boynton Beach now, except just the park, the beach park.
Mm-hmm.
But after World War II, we gave it away. So it's not, you know, we don't really have most of the beach, but we do have the main part, which is good.
We talked about that.
Well, Ocean Ridge?
Yeah, Ocean Ridge.
Yeah, we
talked. Gave it away, or how did that?
They separated somehow, had their own town. I'm not sure how that worked, but, you know, it's no longer part of Boynton.
Oh, that hurt.
But the nice thing is that we have a downtown that's pretty much on the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's why part of our downtown should be the Marina District, because if you're driving on Federal, you don't really know the water's there, you know?
Yeah.
And
definitely don't know this is that close.
yeah, right to a downtown.
Right, yeah.
Like you could walk to the beach if you wanted to. You
Right.
technically could do it. Where you couldn't do that in Fort Lauderdale, you know? It would take you forever, or most other cities. So that's cool. And that's why our downtown, I think, would be great, because if you look at like Las Olas and Fort Lauderdale, it's like one artery, and then Delray is one artery. West Palm Beach is a whole different ball game, but they got multiple arteries, and so do we.
Yeah.
Right? You have 4 arteries really, and you can have a couple crossroads and potential to really have a downtown that has a nice footprint.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly would it be if there was to develop that downtown?
Well, all the way to MLK, right? All the way south to First.
Oh, right on Federal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, well, a lot of those projects are already platted, but yeah, and then east of Federal, right? And then you know that big piece of land that's empty with all the campaign signs on it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be a huge, beautiful, that's a beautiful project coming in there.
Okay.
And the Pierce is a nice project coming in across the street. And those have a better ratio of retail. So those are going to be coming out of the ground. I'm told on the CRA, I heard that the Pierce is going to start turning dirt next month.
That's beautiful.
So that's good news, because, you know, with inflation, all the lenders the money's expensive. So their construction loans, they unfortunately want to wait. And I hope they're that's why I want to see this contract. I hope they're on a clock, right? Because if they're not on a clock, you know,
wait till the time
they can wait forever. And we've been in a holding pattern in Boynton for how many years?
I've been hearing about the downtown since like 2010, something like that. I was excited, man. Like, okay, we finally finna, you know what I mean? But we're in 2025.
Hey, man, you gotta be patient, man.
I'll face it, man. Hey.
Well, that's definitely pretty cool, and that's definitely great to get you on here to hear some of this stuff, because like I said, a lot of people don't know that some of these opportunities are afforded to us. But to me, my number one thing that I want to see from a mayor when they come in is these places that have affordable housing get our people in them. And these places that you say are coming in and developing to get our people some of these jobs. So that's the top thing I want to see, especially because I'm a member of District 2. That District 2 gets some of the love from the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like we're called the heart of the city, but I don't feel like we're treated like the heart of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't disagree. And the developers, they have a lot of control, and we need a strong leader that's going to take that control back. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make it my mission to get those jobs and to get affordable housing. Here's another thing, that you got to check on these contracts is once they sell the project to another holding company, they might not be transferable, right? So you really got to read the fine print on affordable housing. There's also workforce housing and affordable housing. Those are different tiers, and some phase out. Some of the projects that are being built now, they have 30%, and then after 5 years it's 20%, and after 10 years it's 5%. They come down. So I think it's important to keep first of all, it's also important to keep our voice and the culture of Boynton, because we don't want to be a downtown with franchises. Too many. You have a Chipotle and a Taco Bell and this. That's not Boynton. I mean, I can tell you that from living here for 10 years that's not what Boynton is. It needs to have its own voice, and I think through the CRA and through the grant program, I want to encourage the members of the community to come apply for those and define it.
That'd be dope.
Sounds good to me.
We need some more mom and pop shops, some retail, some boutiques, some, like you said, a couple of bodegas, or however we want to call it. And the number one thing is that supermarket.
Yeah.
I feel like, we got the money.
Yeah, we do.
We got the money. We just need the spot and a developer that's going to deliver.
So
and we want it in District 2.
What if it's just outside of it? Just in downtown.
Then it ain't really in the heart of Boynton. Then
that's true. That's true. But we could change the lines.
Nah.
No, but here's the thing. So yeah, I agree. So on the CRA, we've been looking at all the lands on Loop.net, right? You go to Loop.net, you see everything that's for sale in the area. There's not a lot because a lot of big people come in and buy it and hold it, right? So we have been looking, and you have to buy one and then wait for the one next to it and try to start negotiating, because you really need like an acre, and to get an acre in the heart of Boynton, the villages would have been the opportunity to negotiate that, right? And it didn't happen. Yeah. But that can happen, and we have the CRA staff has been looking to do that.
And that way it stay in the CRA district and it stay in District 2, which I think, like I said, we deserve more than a Dollar General.
Who owns the convenience store on Seacrest?
On Seacrest.
Yeah.
What's more easy?
Easy. I
don't know the name.
Because that has a piece of big land on it. Like maybe that can be elaborated into something big.
I don't know the people that own it though.
Yeah,
because I don't know how much land, but if you notice, there's a big lot next to it.
Yeah, that's where the barbershop is.
And then you tell that owner, hey, look why don't you partner with Trader Joe's? You could be the landlord or something, and that could be a good place for it. I don't know. Yeah. Does that sound crazy?
No, I don't.
That's how you got to put people together, right? Like in business.
Yeah.
Probably nobody thought of it. He's probably like, or whoever owns it. I'm getting tired of this manager. I'm getting older. I have no idea who owns it, but maybe another grocer will come in and they can partner. You got to put the deals together.
That spot done been empty for a minute now.
Yeah.
How long has it been since they knocked down Boynton? Barbershop, yeah.
Man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, at least 10, 15 years.
I would say about 15 years.
At least, about 10, 15 years.
I'm talking about a convenience store that's open.
No, I know that, but the stuff that's next to it.
The empty lot used to be a barbershop and a drive-through like a little convenience store. But they knocked it down.
Right.
It's probably been like 15 years. We always wondered what they was going to do with that, but it's just been empty.
I thought, my impression was that St. John's owned it, but I don't think St. John's owned that part across the street.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We got some homework to do.
Sure.
But like I said, so listen, guys, March 11th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Get out and vote. Go to your voting precincts. There's gonna be signs. There's gonna be places to vote everywhere. Everybody in the city of Boynton, you need to have your voice heard. Come out. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Make sure you're going to the right precinct to vote. Get your vote cast. And then at 8:30 on March 11th, my guy will be the mayor.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So definitely, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here, Mr. Future Mayor. Episode 44, the Obama edition.
Hey, you got my vote.
Thank you.
I mean, that ain't saying much, but
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.